What's going on, guys? It's Coach Note back in the building with another one. And as usual, it's going to be jam packed full of jewels, and you could be doing anything but you hear me checking out these reviews. As you know, they're crazy and wild stories, and this one is no different than the others. It's wild and crazy. It's about a high school assistant principal being charged with sexual assault. And so let's check it out.
I didn't want it to happen to anyone else.
Right now at 6 o'clock, only on 2, we're hearing from a 20-year-old who says he was sexually assaulted by the assistant principal of the school he once attended. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. Brian Tigner is charged with sexual assault following the crime on September 27th. Police arrested him on Friday. KPRC2 reporter Corley Peel joins us live outside Westbury High School. She spoke with the man who reported the crime. Corley.
Keith and Daniela, the 20-year-old man tells me he is traumatized. He says he first met Brian Tigner while he was a student at this school 2 years ago. He says that Tigner reached out to him on Instagram after he graduated and they became friends. He says he would often go over to his apartment and they would drink alcohol and smoke weed. He says he never felt that his safety was in danger until now.
So that's crazy that a principal would even be reaching out to a student after they graduated for anything other than like mentorship or trying to help you get into college or decide if you're going to the military, if you're going to start a business, be an entrepreneur, anything like that, man. So, that's what makes it seem just so weird to me. And then the second thing is, the age difference. You don't got people your age that you hang out with, man, and smoke a blunt or have a shot or two, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that, it just sound weird, man. Like, and then you reach out to him on Instagram, like, bro, there's something mentally wrong with you when you do something like that, man. And then, it's the same sex, man. So that makes, this guy, if he's homosexual, then that's what it is. The principal I'm talking about. And man, it's messed up if you try to force somebody to be in something that they're not, and or make them do something that they don't want to do, or that they weren't even thinking about doing or trying. Like, your preference is your preference. Just don't force it on anybody, and don't try to make anybody do anything that they don't want to do, man. So
Why is it so important for you to speak up?
I didn't want it to happen to anyone else. I know that he works with a lot of other kids, young men. This could happen to anyone.
We sat down with 20-year-old Malachi Knight Boyle as he talked about the last time he hung out with Westbury High School assistant principal Brian Tigner.
I was just chilling on the couch. We played the game. We were drinking, smoking, the usual, like how we usually would do. Like when I woke up, that's just when everything happened.
Knight Boyle says he...
So that's crazy that, somebody even tried something like that with him, man. And he made sure that, the student or the former student was comfortable over there kicking it with the principal, man, and it seems like he didn't have any plans on doing anything like that with him, man. He was probably just happy to be hanging out with a principal. Graduated from high school a couple years ago. He like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Get smoke a blunt, play the game with the principal, man. Something that you didn't get to do in high school, because of course it's obviously against policy to be doing stuff like that, man. And then to take advantage of somebody like that, man. Because like I said, he was comfortable. You have to be comfortable to go to sleep in somebody's house. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he spent the night or not or whatever, but even if he didn't, it doesn't matter. you know, you just don't fall asleep over somebody's house you don't know like that, or you're not comfortable around. You're gonna get up and go home. Like, if as soon as you yawn, like, all right, man, I'm up out of here. I'll catch you later. So, you know, that's just a terrible move on the principal's part, man. You know, you're supposed to be somebody that he could look up to, a mentor. And then, you know, it's probably other kids that look up to him, and, you know, he's a principal. So a lot of the kids probably look up to him, and he just tarnished his name doing something like that, man. It's over with for him now. You know, coming back from nothing like that, man.
Woke up to Tigner performing an unwanted sex act on him.
Just start fighting. I just start fighting them off.
Has he ever made a pass at you like that before?
No, that nothing that I noticed. No.
He says Tigner tried to stop him from leaving.
Please, bro, let's talk about it. I'll send you $50. I'm like, bro, what you mean you gonna send me $50? Well, I'm gonna do it, you know? He tried to offer me money.
Knight Boyle got away and called police. He was examined at the hospital where doctors noticed his bruised hand. When detectives spoke with Tigner, records show they noticed he had a black eye. He first told police he got it from breaking up a school fight, but detectives figured out that was not true.
Hell no, that's not true. You know, he knocked your ass in the eye, bro, trying to get away from you, man. He looked like a weirdo too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. And then, you know, just to try to offer him some money, not to say nothing, and try to talk about it after you pull something like that. And he thought he had that dude where he wanted him, man. Like, he made up stuff in his mind that made it okay to even pull something like that on a former student, and, you know, befriended him and got him comfortable coming over there, and then try to pull a fast one on him, and it didn't work. And it's a good thing that, you know, the student came out and even said something about it, because we know a lot of times that people who have been sexually assaulted, they don't say anything for years, man. So, you know, it does take a lot of courage to do that, man. And, like, sexual assault is sexual assault. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, boy, girl. You know, it's unwarranted. Nobody wants to have to go through that and be put through that traumatic experience, man. So kudos to him for coming out. And then maybe him coming out might help other people. We don't know if this guy did something like that to anybody else, or, you know, so they might be able to build up the courage to come out and say something too, man. And, you know, for him to do that, we don't know how long it took him, but even when, like, women, it takes them years to build up courage and say something like that, man, that they've been sexually assaulted. And sometimes they don't even say anything, because it is like, it's embarrassing. And, you know, this is another prime example of all the stuff that, you know, you put somebody else through when you make a dumb decision, when you're not mentally, physically, and spiritually in tune, man. You know, this is the kind of stuff that you just succumb to, man. When you succumb to your flesh, man, and you know, because this is really a wayward, just demonic type of thing to even do, man. And you gotta be like sexually hyper or something. You know, this is because you're definitely supposed to be able to control yourself and not even be thinking like that with somebody so much younger than you, man. Somebody that looks up to you, somebody that, you know, is just starting to figure out life, man. And now they have to deal with something like this, something so traumatic. You put him, the family through that. You know, your family gotta go through that because you're somebody who did something like that, man. And just use this as an example of, you know, the decisions you make and how they affect you and everybody else, man. Put his job in jeopardy, all that. He ain't getting that job back now. Even if you do get off with that, they're not going to give you a job back, bro. Just because you got that type of stain on your shirt in the first place, man. Let them know, like, no. And it just made it that much harder for somebody who really does want to work with kids and really is a leader. Now they got to go through probably a more strenuous process than you did to get in there, man. So, like I said, your decisions, bro, just be aware of what kind you're making.
From Nye Boyle, fighting him off. Tigner is out on bond, so I gave him a call.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
But he didn't pick up.
I feel like he needs to be held accountable. I'm glad that he's being charged.
You know, other people are going to be watching this. What would you encourage they do if they're in a situation like you've been in?
It's always going to be someone you can talk to. If something happens to you, you don't got to go through it alone.
Man, that's a brave thing to say too, because a lot of times people do feel alone, like there's nobody they could talk to, nobody's on their side, you know, and a lot of times, like he said, the dude offered him money, try to talk to him about it. He's lucky that he got out of there, man, and, you know, he didn't get unalived or something like that, man, because, you know, a lot of times when people aren't mentally stable, they will go overboard. And they'll take it too far. Like, this was taking it too far, but they'll really go to the extreme, man, and, you know, unalive somebody to keep them from telling or, you know, try to, you know, so it's just a good thing that he was able to fight him off, man, and get up out of there. And now he can give motivation to other people and tell you, you know, there's always some help out there, man. And if you know, build up the courage and come out and tell your story, man. And, you know, people aren't just going to sweep it under the rug, man.
Several students tell us that Brian Tigner is someone that they often look up to as a role model, and they are shocked by his recent charge. HISD did send us a statement today saying that they are aware of this incident. They say it is protocol for any time an employee is charged with a crime for them to be removed from campus while that investigation is ongoing. At this time, HPD says they're not aware of any other victims, but they're encouraging anyone who might have information to contact their Special Victims Division, and we have that information at click2houston.com.
Yeah, it is important for people to come out if you've been sexually assaulted by someone, and man, it's kind of make it seem like this isn't the first time that he's pulled something like this off, or, you know, he's attempted it. Because, you know, it's just, man, he's so mentally just off that there's no telling, like, what type of lengths he would go to or what he would do, man. If this thing would have went through for him and that guy wouldn't have said anything, man, how many more victims, even if, you know, he didn't want it and it was still an assault, like, how many more people that look up to him would have had to go through that, man? So it's just like I've been saying, man, it's a good thing that that guy was able to get away, man, and was able to tell his story, because people really do need to hear that for motivation and to gain courage to come out and tell their story too. So things like this, you know, they won't happen as often as they do. And, you know, the wrong people can be in positions that they're not supposed to be in. And, you know, it'll just make the world a little better, man, for the more people that come out and tell their story.
Reporting live, Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
All right, man, it's Coach Noop. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content, man. And, you know, just know that being mentally, physically, and spiritually aware of the decisions you're making and how they affect you and everyone else, and use these kind of reviews is, you know, a lesson or just like motivation to know that it's not as bad as you think, the situation you're in, man. And making the proper decisions, man, is only going to help you out. So your reality is what you make it, man. Life is what you make it. And it's not as bad as you think it is. Until next time, I'm out.